This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So yesterday we saw like a few topics like with related to Xcode, like how to generate the simulator using the Xcode, and then we move towards like say something like multiple inheritance concept. We move towards it, and we were checking upon the multiple inheritance as well. So today as well we'll continue with the Java, and also we'll see like couple of other things related to the APM. So yesterday I was insisting like we need to have an insight into like say what is app package and app activity. So I requested you all to install like say APK info in your devices, Android devices, but iOS it is not required because I told you like how to identify the UDID of the device. So maybe just to recollect, like this is how we were trying to do it out. So we were seeing a command like xc run simulator list device booted, and you are getting like say whichever device is currently running or available in my machine. So this is the UDID of the device, and we were using this one. So next one is like say today we'll also see about something like say maybe let me show about one framework to you. Let's see about something called like say today with respect to your APM. So whether it's going to be your iOS or your Android, so this is a common thing like we'll be using this one, which we call it as your desired capability. So what is desired capability is like say basically to run your program or to interact your program automation script with your devices, whether it's going to be iOS or Android, we require something called your desired capability. Yeah. So we required something called your desired capability. So what is desired capability meaning is like say you need to define certain configurations in your project so that the interaction between your machine, that means your automation script, and your device is seamless. So out of this only, like yesterday we saw something called your app activity and then app package.
Yeah.
So this also
Hi,
will be
good morning.
mentioned as a hello, good morning. Yeah, thank you.
Arun just now joined the call. Please
Yeah,
stay
sure,
connected.
sure, no problem, no problem. We just started. So this is what we call it as a desired capability, which makes us to automate the cases seamlessly without any issues. So out of which only two parameters we have seen yesterday. One is like app activity, and another one is like say app package. So we need to have these two items, and apart from these two items, what are the other items that we can include it under your desired capabilities are. So this is common across iOS and Android. So let me show you a framework like how does it work so that you can have it up. Just okay. Just Okay. So this is where this is a simple framework for your like say I would say this as a BDD framework. So here I would have set some capabilities. So I'm just giving an overview, like say what are the desired capabilities required. So and how important is your desired capabilities. So rest of the other things we'll see it later. So just I'm giving you an overview, like say how the desired capabilities are available. So as you can see it over here, I have given something like say capabilities. So it is coming from something called your desired capability. So it is a class available as part of your Selenium, and I create an object for it, and I create the object for the particular desired capability. That it is something like say this is the reference class, sorry, this is the base class object reference class. So I'm going to use this capability over here. And what are the parameters I'm using? It is like say, so I'm using like app activity app package. So like yesterday we saw like how to identify it in Android device. So that particular item I'll be giving it over here. So let me check like where I'm giving it. So I'm giving it as a property, get property, and base property. So I'm taking it from a simple uh, data file actually. Okay. So let me take it the data file for you. Okay, so where is the particular file? Property.get property application dot activity. Okay, this is the property file. So I have separate for Android and separate for iOS. Okay, simple as it is. So if you go for your Android, so maybe you can see it over here. I'm just giving it. So these are the properties that I'm going to use it. Like yesterday as we saw, we need to have the package name, and then we need to have the activity name, and in which port we are going to run it up, and what is the wait times available. So this you can ignore it for now, but these things are mandatory for desired capabilities. So what is the package name, activity name, the port number, and the instrumentation. So instrumentation is nothing but what type of uh, tool that you're going to use to automation. So that is your Appium. So browser name, so we don't require any browser since we are going to automate an app. And then the platform name, so it's going to be an Android or iOS. And the device name, so device name, if you recollect, like yesterday we were seeing like say yeah, so this is going to be your device name. So whatever the device you connected, whether it's going to be a real device or a simulator device, it doesn't matter. Just the name you need to give it over here. And what is the Android version. So in case in your interview, if they ask like say what are the desired capabilities or what parameters you pass, you can blindly tell them like app activity name, app package name, port number, instrumentation, platform name, and device name, and platform version. So all these things you can mention it up. So if it's going to be an iOS, it's going to be a similar thing, but here we need to mention the browser name as Safari, because basically your iOS makes use of the Safari browser in order to automate or to make it as a screen image for your automation. So and the platform name is iOS, and your device name, again it's going to be simulator or emulator, whichever you want to use the name of it. And the platform, so which version of iOS you are going to use it up. And as I said, we need to know the UDID, so you need to mention the UDID of the device and the name of the application. So this is you need to pass it. So here there is no app package name or app activity name, it's just a app name we need to provide, and the UDID of the device. So here UDID plays a major part of the automation, so we need to use it up. Rest of the things remains the same. So this is how basically we pass it all the things to your uh, Appium over here as a set capabilities. So whenever your what to say, you have a thumb rule, like say whenever you want to perform your Appium automation, your capabilities is a mandatory thing. So without setting the capabilities, you cannot automate any of these stuffs. Simple as it is. So this is how it works. So capabilities are like say major part in your APM automation. Even in web automation, if it is required only, we'll be doing it. But in APM, it's a mandatory stuff. Without doing this, we cannot run your packages. So this is how it works over here. So we have two things over here. So we have to load a iOS configuration and we have to set the iOS capabilities. And similarly, like say we have to set the capabilities as well for Android. So load property files. So this is the base for any of your Android automation. So Android or iOS. So we need to give it in this particular manner. Okay. So yeah, this is how it works. So every time whenever you're trying to automate both Android and iOS, we'll be giving it as a separate driver. So as a APM driver, get driver, and APM driver, iOS driver will be given. Both would be a separate items. This is how it performs. So any doubt here so far till now? Like only with respect to the set capabilities. What are the capabilities and how important is your capability and what parameters we need to pass towards your capabilities. Any
Where
doubts?
do you take UDID?
UDID we can get it like say like as we saw yesterday, right? When we give like XC run simulator list devices booted, so we get this particular ID. So this is what we call it as a UDID. So it's like something like a device ID actually. So if you want to get it in a real device, like if you hold an iOS device or something like that, so there is an application called What is my UDID. So you can download it inside your application and you can like say there is one profile needs to be run on your device. Maybe let me quickly check it up. Just a moment. I'll send you a screenshot. So in my real device, what I will do is like I go to the Chrome or Safari or anywhere browser. So I'll type like what is my UDID and search for it, and you get like say get UDID dot tech. One particular item will be there, one URL. So now you need to get like say get UDID. So it will be downloading a profile for you, and you need to go to the iOS settings, or maybe let's try it like let me open the Xcode. So I need to like say have a real device. Like let's try it up over here. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So I have my simulator over here. So let it open and show it to you. So I can go to your Safari browser and just type or something like say if it's going to be a real device also this is the same thing. What is my UDID? Just type it over here, search it, and UDID got tech. So let's go into it. So it will ask you like say get your UDID. So I'll go to allow, close. Now I need to go to your settings, general, about device. It should have a profile. Hmm, okay, so why is it coming? over here, UDID tech. Okay, just click install. That's it. You get your UDID. So here UDID is like, since it's a simulator, it's giving a random one, but in real time it gives a real one actually. So this is your UDID. It's a false one actually. So usually it doesn't have like this. Maybe a real one. Let me download it in my device actually. Just download. Yeah. But usually this is how it comes. So let me open my Gmail and show it to you. Okay, this one. Ah, okay. This is how it gives for me from your real device. So this is how the UDID will be available, and the IMEI number and so on. So it goes about. Okay, so this is how you get it up. So from your real device, but from simulator, I think since it's a simulator, we already get it from this command over here. Like say, if you give list booted, this is my UDID. Okay, so this is how it performs. So this is how it usually works. Yeah. So now let's jump into like something called a Java concept. We'll jump into it. So we'll leave the framework alone for some time. Maybe we'll come to it once the Java gets over. So again, let's say these are the basic primary setups or the things that you need to have it for APM automation. Like a simulator, if you have it, then we need to have a simulators. If you want a real device also, like not an issue. You can use your old devices or your present devices for your automation. So that shouldn't be an issue. And same is applicable for your iOS as well. So we need to have the Xcode for your simulators, or like say real device also you can connect it and you can use it up. So this is how usually it performs actually. So these are the prerequisites that you need to know. So decide capabilities, what is decide capabilities, how to get the UDID, how to get the app package name, how to get the app activity name, and what is the server port server we need to run. Like say for example, I installed like say APM for a desktop. So if I open it, like say this is the default server I provided, so nothing special. So let me open. Yeah, so you can see this is the default server. The host name is also the default. So and you need to just start your server so that it has started your server. So now whatever you do it will be recorded as part of your APM. That means whenever you run your script. So if you want to do an inspector, like say I think currently I have an issue, but I'll check it up. Like as I did, you need to click on this magnifier symbol. You will be navigated towards your capabilities section. So since I was using my Nokia or my app, right? So I'll be using the capabilities. What are the capabilities available? So this follows like say device name, sorry, platform version, platform name, app activity, app package name, and then I would use to start my session. Now I didn't have any sessions open, so it will just throw me an error. It will just throw me an error. Maybe let me open Android Studio, whether it detects or not, because it had some issues. Maybe since I upgraded my Java version, it was not supporting it. So I need to check upon that one. But to just to show you a demo, like I think this should be fine. When we deep dive into the session, like you'll come to know more actually. So but here I need to provide the device name as a different one. So what is the device name? How to get the device name? Any chance? Any idea you have? ADB devices. Simple. So this is the emulator that I connected. Copy it and I can put it over here. Simple. And how to find the platform version? I'm using an Android 13 or any other stuff. Like say you can go it over here. So about the emulator device. So it's 12 version I use it up. So I
Can
can
you show
mention
me
it.
one second how to take device name?
Oh sorry.
Can you show me one second how to take device name?
This device, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Device name.
Yeah. Device name. Okay. So just we need to go to the terminal. For Android, it's ADB devices. ADB devices, and it will list all the device names available or connected to your machine. For me, I've just connected this one. So I just taking this
Will
name
show the
and
default connectivity emulator.
sorry.
Is it will show default connectivity?
Default connectivity means yeah, whichever is your simulator or your real device connected, everything will be listed over here. All the things will be listed, like say when you do like ADB devices. So this
Okay.
ADB devices is a command to list all the devices that is connected at that moment in your machine. So if I don't have any devices, like say if I close this one and I don't have any devices, if I give it, like I think it's not closed properly. Stop emulator. Let me close this one. So it has not been stopped, but still it will show it to me. Just a moment. Yeah. So it is stopped. Now if I go to my terminal and I use like ADB devices, as you can see, nothing is listed. So if I connect the device only, like it will be listed. So if I didn't connect anything, so nothing would be listed for me. Like say if I open it only, like connecting to an emulator, so something would be popping up. Like say I go to the this thing ADB devices, so it will be connected. And I go to the APM, so I do the configurations. So and then I do a start session. I think it may or may not connect. There was some issue like yesterday when I checked. Yeah, so it was not recognizing my Android. Sorry, the JDK version. So I'll fix this one. Yeah, but if you connect it, you replicate the particular device over there for inspection. Simple as it is. So this is how it works in your APM desktop actually. But if you want to use it like say as a NPM way, not an issue. So here you can stop it, close it. Here also you can close it. So you go to your terminal or your command prompt. So you can give like say APM start. That's it should start. Okay, maybe double icon start. Working. Okay, APM is available, but why it's not working? Anyhow, let me check the code actually. So in the code also we would have started it. Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. Sorry about that. So Appium is not starting. So what does it say? So, okay, no issues. Let me check up on this one. I think my system or something got changed. I think. Let me check about this one. Yeah, no problem. It will take some time to fix this one. Maybe 5-10 minutes, something like that. No issues. But this is how usually we do. So if you install Appium from Node.js, right? Let me check Node. Appium version. Yeah, Node is also there. What is the problem? Okay, let me check up on just a second. Yeah, Appium is available. Okay, let me check upon this one. My node is not working properly, but as you can see, like say I've tried to open it with the help of your Appium desktop. Like it doesn't make much difference. So just it's going to start your Appium server, and the communication happens through the Appium. That's it. So you need to mention like say the host and the port number and just give it as a start. That's it. Over here as a Appium desktop. So this is how it works. So you want to edit your configuration in your Appium, you can edit it. Simple as it is over here. So where is your Android SDK and your Java version? So it is mentioned as Java home only, content home. Okay. Yeah. So you can mention your Java version over here and then start it up. Okay. So this is how it works over here. And then just you can use your start server 1.21. That's it. So whatever you do it in your script now, everything will be recorded over here. But in Node.js, it's not working. Maybe let me check it up. Yeah. So I'm not sure what is the issue, but it also has the same screen over here. Simple as it is. Just the way of invoking is different. So that's going to be from your Node.js npm, and this is from your desktop. Every time you need to open your particular window, Appium, and then start. Simple as it is. One additional advantage that your Appium desktop provides is like the inspector, which the Node.js doesn't have. You cannot use it over there. So you need to identify elements with the help of inspector. Like in Node.js, it's just used to start it and stop it. Simple as it is. Yeah. So this is the difference that I could see as part of Appium desktop and the Node connecting via Node. So both is going to be like similar, like same. But from the scripting purpose, scripting point of view, the opening a node in the through the script is much more easier than your desktop version. So as you can see it over here, when I want to start the server, so basically I am providing the path of your exe file and the path of your appium.js. So this is all I provide, and then I directly start my server. Simple as it is. and if I stop it, I just destroy the process. So this is how it works. But if you want to open this exe file, like again, you need to provide a process start and stop, similar to like this one. So this is how you start and stop your Appium servers, and how to configure the desired capabilities over there in order to inspect the particular session that is connected. Actually, maybe for the session, like how to connect it, like maybe I'll fix it today and I'll show it to you tomorrow, like how to inspect it and do the stuff work around over there for Android. So maybe we'll move on to some Java part. Like let me open the other, switch to the other workspace. So yesterday we have seen something like, say, about your multiple inheritance. So what is multiple inheritance and how to achieve the multiple inheritance, we have seen it. Today we'll see about another concept called your polymorphism. So polymorphism is basically divided into two stuffs. One is your method overloading and another one is your method overriding. So method overloading is nothing but like you have the same method name, but the parameters that you pass for the method is going to be different. So when I say parameter, it is nothing but the argument that you pass for the particular methods is going to be different. So we call it as your method getting overloaded with arguments or parameters, and it necessarily like, or we can tell it like it should not be same name and same parameters. It should be same method name and different parameters. We need to have it up. So when you have it like, say, so the overloaded methods may have different return types, and return types alone is insufficient to distinguish the two versions of the same method. When Java encounters a call to overload the method, it simply executes the version of the method whose parameter matches. So depending upon the argument only, basically it matches to the system and gives us the which method we are going to invoke. And it is basically called compile time polymorphism. Why? Because based upon the argument what we are going to pass, that means the argument or the parameter what we are going to pass, which method it's going to invoke, it is going to identify it up. So an overloaded method can throw different exceptions, so it's not going to be the same, and it can have different access modifiers. So when I say access modifiers, it's going to be the traditional one: public, private, protected, and default. So default is always a public actually. So what are the rules for overloading? Is like, say, overloading can take place in same class or in its subclass. A constructor in Java can be overloaded. So overloaded method must have different argument list with the same name but different parameters. So the method name will be the same, but parameters will be different. The parameter may differ in their type or number or in both. So it can be different in the type, like say integer, string, variable, integer, string, boolean, or like say the count might be differing. So it can have two integer, two string, and one method, something like that. And they have the same or different return types. It also known as the compile time polymorphism. Same method name but different argument list. So different access modifiers are possible. So let's see an example for overloading. Oh, okay. I didn't open it.
What is a constructor?
Constructor, it's like an initializer for a class actually. So whenever you want to initialize something at the class level, we use a constructor. So when you use a constructor, your when you create an object, your reference class is going to hold the particular constructor's value. So we have like two different types of constructor. So one is like constructor without parameter, and another one is like constructor with parameters. So we can have it like that. Maybe I'll show it to you an example. Just
Okay, thank you.
yeah. So its constructor is basically an initializer for the class level actually. Let me show you. Okay, so for overloading, you can try this one. Yes, so this is what we call it as a method overloading. So in this class, you can see like say I have like say method name is same demo, but the parameter you can see I'm passing it as a different. So in one of the demo I don't have parameter, in another one I have like say two parameters, in another one I have like three parameters, and in another one again I have like a string and integer. But when I try to give it something like this, public void demo, and then I try to use the same way like this. So what happens over here? So it throws me an error. Simple as it is. Duplicate. So this is what we meant over there. Like whenever you give a method name, so basically it doesn't depend on the name of the method, but the argument or the parameter it holds. Now if I give something like say boolean, so it works. So the what makes the difference in the different in this one is like say the arguments that you are going to pass it. So the line number 19 has a string name and integer number, but the same thing if I try to put it on line number 22, it throws me a duplicate error. But in case if I pass another parameter, it allows me to do it. So this is what we call it as a method overloading. So why it is called as a compile time polymorphism is like say when you create an object for it, like say test overloading demo is equal to new test overloading demo, and there is an object available. So when you pass the object like say and then call the method, at that time itself it will determine based on the argument which method you are going to call. So whether it's like method with two parameter, three parameter, or four parameter, it will determine. So this place only we define it or we convey it as your compile time polymorphism. So while compiling the code itself, like because naturally if you see it right, if you're going to use some method over here with three parameters, so at the time itself you are defining like say method with three parameters, so obviously it's going to hit this one and then give you the result. So this implementation only we call it as your compile time polymorphism. When you write the code itself, you are going to define what method you are going to use it. So that's wherein we usually call it as your compile time polymorphism. So when you run this script, simple as it is, it's going to get all the outputs related to this one. Two parameter, three parameters, and again it's going to be a string and a number. This is how your overloading works. Now the next thing about your polymorphism is like say overriding. So here only like it needs some implementation of your inheritance come into picture. So what is the beauty of overriding is like say it can have like say same method name, same parameter name, doesn't matter. But what matters over here is like say only at the runtime it's going to identify what method you are going to call, because as I said here inheritance comes into picture. So you are going to use something like a parent and a child concept, and depending upon that particular usage here in overriding alone, what happens is like your reference class is going to differ. So if you recollect the inheritance concept, so what we have seen is like say let me pull out one of the inheritance. So we have a parent, we have a child. So what happens over here like in your object creation, so what is your base class over here? So your base class is going to be child class demo, and we create an object, and this is going to be your reference class. So your base class and your child class is going to be the same, but in overriding your reference class there is going to be a difference. So let me show it to you. How does it work? So I have like a parent class over here, arithmetic operation, so it's going to be performing my addition operation. But when I come to the child class, like say test child class extends your test class parent, and we have like say a into b. So this again I have the same name but a different implementation altogether. So here I do the multiply. So now what happens is like say I am passing my base class as your parent class. Okay. uh, okay, so this is okay, sorry, don't get confused. So I'm passing like base class as your parent class, object name equal to new parent class. So if I do this, what happens is like say the object will always point to my parent. The method will be always pointing it to my parent. But what happens if I change the reference class to your child class? So here what happens is like for now if you click your control or command and then do it, it will go to your parent. But over here there is a child reference class is your child class, right? So what will happen now, it is like say while running the script, when you're running the script, it will not invoke your parent's addition, but instead, since while running the script it will identify, okay, my reference class is going to be different, so I need to reference something from your child class, and it will invoke this multiplication operation. So let me give it to you. How does it work? So this first line will give you always the addition operation, but in comes over here, then it's going to be giving you something like say your child class implementation, that is nothing but your multiplication. So as you can see it over here, your parent class with addition is 5, your child class with multiply 42. So this is how it works. So this is what we call it as a overriding. So your base class is referencing your reference class. Depending upon what the reference class is, your methods will be accessed. So here it is getting overridden. So your base class is getting overridden by your reference class. Simple as it is. That is how it performs. So any doubt here so far till now?
So can you tell me what is the base class and what is the reference class here?
Yeah, so this is the base class, test class parent, and the reference class is going to be your test class child. So
Okay,
here we are
got
referencing.
it.
So based on this particular class, what method, if it is available over here, it will be pulling it up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So any doubts here so far in the overriding concept? Maybe overloading is a simple one, but overriding, like you need to change the object's reference class actually. That is all it is. So now let's jump into something called your okay, so one concept we left it over here. I think hopefully let's try to complete it within the next 5 minutes, like abstraction. So what is abstraction and how to do it about? So abstraction and interface are more or less like say similar concepts. Like they don't have like say much difference to it, but the way of implementation and all those stuffs, it's going to be different. But when you see the bigger picture of it, like say both is going to be like say a similar concept. So but abstraction as a different thing, like I am comparing it with the interface, like what we saw yesterday. So abstraction is nothing but it's a process of hiding the implementation details from the user, and only the functionality will be provided to the user. So as you know, like even in interface, when we declare the interface, we don't have implementation for the particular method. We just have the what to say, the method is getting initialized. So here also it is similar to that, and it is declared before a class. These are the differences between an interface and abstraction. A class which contains an abstract keyword, keyword in its declaration is known as abstract class. Abstract class may or may not contain the abstract methods. That means method without body. So similarly in interface also, like yesterday we saw, we have like same method without body. But if a class has at least one abstract method, the class must be declared abstract. If a class is declared abstract, it cannot be instantiated. That means it cannot be initialized for the particular thing. And to use the abstract class, you need to use the inheritance concept. That means again we are going to the extents. So if you want to use the abstract class to a normal class, we need to use the extents. If you inherit the abstract class, you have provided the implementation to the all the abstract methods. So similar to that of interface, like whatever the interface method you have it, all the methods should be implemented on the implementation class. Same way here also, if you use an abstraction class, all the methods available as part of the abstract class should be used within the implementation method. So let me show you an example over here for all these things. So close all. Let me open my abstraction. So this is an abstract class. Simple as it is, nothing much. You need to introduce a keyword called abstract. That is all. And inside your abstract class, as you can see, I have like say variables available and abstract methods available. So methods also will hold something like an abstract keyword. So it can be with return type or without return type. Anything is possible. And again, if you declare a method with implementation also, it is possible. So in interface also, when I compare it, like after Java 8, you can use it as a static when you declare it as a static. But here static keyword is not required. You can directly implement it up. Now how to use this abstract class inside a normal class? You go to the normal class, extents of abstract class. And what happens suddenly over here is like say whatever the methods available over here, the unimplemented methods, I mean only the unimplemented methods. So all these things should be made available over here. So whether you use it or not, that is different criteria. It needs to be made available over here. Simple as it is. If it is not available over here, then it will throw you an error. Like say for example, I have a demo method ABC. Okay, so let me delete the C and save it. Now you can see it will throw you an error. It has not implemented the demo method C. So this is what we call it as your all the unimplemented methods should be made available over here. Whether you use it or not, that's a different thing. So even if you don't use it, not an issue, but it should be made available in the implemented class. So that's wherein over here. So here also like your overriding comes into picture. So you can use it over like this. So abstract class test demo object is equal to new test class abstract A. So whatever is implemented over here in the reference class, those things will be utilized over here. Simple as it is. So this is how it is required. If you have a separate methods implemented in your test class abstract class A, then you need to invoke it something like this. Because I have something like a test method available. So if you mean like say, can I call it with this same object over here? So obviously it will throw you an error like say obj dot test. So it doesn't suggest itself to you. Even if I put this one right, it will throw you an error. So undefined abstract demo. So that means like you have not declared it as part of your abstract class, so you cannot use it over here. So how to invoke this one is like say you need to declare a separate object for your current class in which you are into and then invoke it up. So this is how your abstraction will be performing. This is how it works, your abstraction. So any doubts here so far? It is a bit more complex when compared to your interface, but still some people prefer to use your abstract whenever there is going to be a different implementation on different classes. So again, it depends actually, but interface is used more widely when compared to your abstraction. So this is how it works. So any doubt here so far with respect to abstraction and polymorphism and desired capabilities? What are desired capabilities and how to access those desired capabilities? Any doubts here so far till now? Okay, so that's all pretty much I had for today. So we have covered some parts of Java and we have covered some basics about your APM, like simulators, desired capabilities, how to start and stop your APM servers. So that's all I had for today. Maybe just a note from the admin team, like if you want to continue for the session, so they wanted you guys to just enroll it with some payment options. So kindly check with them as well for the future sessions. So that's the note from the admin team. So if any doubts, we can discuss it here. If not, maybe we can connect back tomorrow. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Thank you, Arvind.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're free, can connect later.
Sorry.
I think still I'm facing that application issue. I'm unable to download.
The you mean that simulator issue, right, with you?
Yes.
Ah, yeah. Can you share the screen? Maybe let's check it up. Maybe I'll stop the recording for now.